Hello, hello. It's a wonderful, wonderful day, and I am so thankful to God for allowing me to be here one more time on Point of View with Shirley Pope. God is good, His mercy is everlasting, and His truth endureth forever and to all generations too. And we're talking today about 8 different types of love. Eight different types of love. And this is according to the ancient Greeks. And they're supposed to be the professionals in love and all of that. So, anyway, we'll just go right into it. 8 different types of love. And I talk about love because there are many times people really, really don't understand love. We have not always understood love. We have not always been experts in what we claim to be experts in. And I want to just share what I found and something that I found about love. And if you've watched me or listened to me anytime I talk about love in both the spiritual and the natural aspects of life, we cannot survive without love. We cannot survive. And so many people have misunderstandings of which type of love they have. And people get the types of love mixed up. So there are different types of emotions, different types of loves, okay? So the thing is, I believe if we really understood, I could understand even from this that I am going to present to you today, if we would even think about it, then we could understand more about what we're feeling, for who we're feeling at the time that we're feeling it for, okay? All right. Now, eight different types of love according to the ancient Greeks. And this is in lonewolf.com. Lonewolf.com. 8 different types of love. Okay, so there are many paths in life, but the longest of them all is the path to the heart. There are many paths in life, but the longest of them is the path to the heart. And when it comes to dealing with the heart and the emotions, that really intakes every aspect of our lives because it can make us better or worse. I really believe that. I really believe that. So, if you insist or resist this path, okay, if you resist the path, you will take lifetimes to find it again. So if you surrender and embrace it, you will be home, okay? Now, we've all been blinded by the blanket of emotions that comes from falling or, just falling down the path of the unknown into love. Okay, so all of us have experienced this. Okay, we've all experienced this. We've all been blinded by the blanket of emotions that comes from falling down the precipice of union into love. Now, while we only have one word for it, the ancient Greeks, in their pursuit of wisdom and self-understanding, found 7 different varieties of love that we all experience at some point. They found seven different varieties that we all experience at some point. And so, take inventory of your life and your emotions and see if you felt all of these. And I'm sure you have. I'm sure we have. Okay, we all have, but it's what we need to do to separate these loves, okay? Because one love does not mean the same as the other love, all right? And so the thing about the heart is God made this heart, and what I'm saying, emotions, the mental abilities that we have to be able to grasp and to have different emotions and different thoughts and different things going on in our lives at the same time. And what some people don't realize is that we can love. And see, this is a thing that really gets me. Sometimes we we lose out and people lose out, and they form their own opinions and conclusions about love and the love of someone else for someone else, and then that could hinder them from the love that they really are entitled to, because they don't understand love as it really is. Because there are different types of love, and then God made us as human beings. We have the capacity and the ability to love more than one person. If we didn't, how could we have all of the people around us? How could we have friendly feelings for all of the people that we do? And then we separate those loves into categories. Okay, so I'm going to go right into this. So when we understand the different types of love out there, we can become conscious of how deep our connection is with ourselves and the other people in our lives. This is very important to me. This is very important to me because so many people, oh God, my goodness, so many people have been misunderstood and mislabeled because a person didn't understand the type of love that they have for another person. So this has interfered with romantic relationships. It's even interfered with just personal platonic relationships, and I'm going to get into this, okay? So it's interfered in so many people's lives, and it's caused confusion. It's caused even deaths in many instances, because people don't understand the differences in the love. They don't understand that we can love more than one person at a time, and that love doesn't have to be the same for the other person as it is with the person that you're romantically involved with, if that may be the case. Okay, now there's the eros love, the first one. So there are 7 different types, okay, according to the Greeks. All right, there's the eros, or erotic love. The eros, or erotic love. Now the first kind of love, which is named after the Greek god of love and fertility. Now, eros represents the idea of sexual passion and desire. That's eros, okay? That's the first one. Now, the ancient Greeks considered eros to be dangerous and frightening, as it involves a loss of control through the primal impulse to procreate. Eros is a passionate and intense form of love that arouses romantic and sexual feelings. Okay, now that's the eros, and that's the erotic love. And we've heard expressions and words used. We've heard of erotica, and sometimes they relate that to just different types of sexual acts and desires that people have, and some of those are very harming to people, but then they have those desires. So I won't even try to go into that. Don't know anything about it, just what I've heard. And then, you see things on TV, and then you wonder if people really do that kind of stuff, but yet you don't want to get involved in it. Okay, so eros is an exalted and beautifully idealistic love that in the hearts of the spiritually mature can be used to recall knowledge or beauty, as Socrates put it, through tantra and spiritual sex. But when misguided, here we go, but when misguided, eros can be misused, abused, and indulged in, leading to impulsive acts and broken hearts. We have to understand the different types of love. Eros is a primal and powerful fire that burns out quickly. Okay? Now, it needs its flame to be fanned through one of the deeper forms of love below, as it is centered around the selfish aspects of love. That is personal infatuation and physical pleasure. That's the eros love. And then we go to the philia. love. That's the second one. And philia, Philia, are affectionate love. We're talking about the different types of love. And I really believe, I repeat myself, that if we understand the different types of love, then relationships in all forms and fashions will be better between people. Okay? Now, there's the philia, or affectionate love. And so the second type is philia, or friendship. You hear that? Philia, or it's friendship. The ancient Greeks valued philia far above eros because it was considered a love between equals. It was considered a love between equals, and that's philia. And so let me do this. I'm going to have to, because I'm reading from my phone here, and I'm going to have to increase my font here just a little bit. Or, you know what? I think I'll just hold it here and read it, okay? All right. So Plato felt that physical attraction was not a necessary part of love. Hence the use of the word platonic to mean without physical attraction. So we said that we're in a platonic or platonic relationship, and that means without physical attraction. So philia is a type of love that is felt among friends who've endured hard times together. Do you have friends you've endured hard times together with? I do, and very, very few people I call my friend. Very few people I call friend. Okay? Now, as Aristotle put it, philia is a dispassionate, virtuous love that is free from the intensity of sexual attraction. It often involves the feelings of loyalty among friends, camaraderie among teammates, and the sense of sacrifice for your pack. So, the love catalyst for philia is the mind. Now, the love catalyst for eros is the physical body. Okay? The physical body is the love catalyst for eros. Now, for philia, the catalyst is the mind. All right? Now, there's the storge. That's the third, S-T-O-R-G-E. It's of familiar love. Okay, we're talking about different types of love. Different types of love. Now, although storge, closely resembles philia in that it is a love without physical attraction, storge is primarily to do with kinship and familiarity. Now, storge is a natural form of affection that often flows between parents and their children, and children for their parents. Talking about storge, that's the third type of love. Storge love can be found among childhood friends that is later shared as adults, but although storge is a powerful form of love, it can also become an obstacle in our spiritual paths, especially when our family or friends don't align with or support our journey. Now, the love catalyst for storge is casual, or in parentheses, memories. Okay? So, storge is a casual relationship. It's a different type of relationship. Now we go to ludus, L-U-D-U-S, or playful love. This is a fourth type of love. Although ludus has a bit of the erotic eros in it, it is much more than that. Now, the Greeks thought of ludus as a playful form of love. For example, the affection between young lovers. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Some of us, where we're all, if we're alive, we're moving in age. Age is going up, we're getting older, but can you remember those playful little love things that went on with you and maybe somebody that you haven't seen in many, many years? Or you could be married to that person now. How about that? All right. Ludus is that feeling we have when we go through the early stages of falling in love with someone. For example, the fluttering heart, flirting, teasing, and feelings of euphoria. All right. Playfulness in love is an essential ingredient that is often lost in long-term relationships. So now that we know that that's usually lost in or many times lost in long-term relationships, now we can try to restore that, huh? How about that? If you have someone that loves you and someone that you love, all right? Yet playfulness is one of the secrets to keeping the childlike innocence of your love alive, interesting, and exciting. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, now the love catalyst for that um, storage is astral, meaning emotion. It's more emotional. Then we have the mania or the obsessive love. And I think many of us probably have experienced that. Mania love is a type of love that leads a partner into a type of madness or obsessiveness. We're talking about mania love. Now, it occurs when there is an imbalance between Eros and Ludus. It occurs when there is an imbalance between Ludus and Eros. Okay? Now, to those who experience mania, love itself is a means of rescuing themselves, a reinforcement of their own value as a sufferer of poor self-esteem. Now, this person wants to love and be loved to find a sense of self-value. Because of this, because of this, they can become possessive and jealous lovers, feeling as though they desperately need their partners. So if the other partner fails to reciprocate with the same kind of mania love, many issues prevail. So this is why mania can often lead to issues such as codependency. And many of us have experienced that also in our lives. And if you haven't, I pray and trust God that you will not have to experience it, that your love life will be fruitful and that it will be a happy love life, okay? Now, the catalyst for the mania love is survival instinct. All right? Now then we go to pragma. Pragma, or enduring love. Pragma, Pragma. That's number 6 on the list. Now, pragma is a love that has aged, matured, and developed over time. It is beyond the physical. It has transcended the casual, and it is a unique harmony that has formed over time. Now, many of us, we all should want this kind of love, okay? And people cannot understand how people are so alike because they've been in love for so long. They know each other. It seems like, I'll put it like this, inside and out. Sometimes they can even finish a sentence for each other. And I look at mom and daddy's marriage and how they developed over the years, had a wonderful, wonderful, loving marriage. And I am so thankful for my parents. And I was saying to my children, I said, I never, ever heard mom and daddy argue. I never saw them argue. I never saw them fight. There were no fights, no physical fights or anything like that. I've never heard them raise their voice at each other. Every time we saw mom and daddy, they were together in everything. That's what we saw when we were coming up. And to me, that was an ideal relationship. And I thank God for it. I thank God for it. They grew on each other. They were married for many, many years, for decades. And I am so thankful for my parents. So thankful for my parents. They had this kind of love. Pragma is a love, I'm going to repeat this, that has aged, matured, and developed over time. It is beyond the physical. It has transcended, the casual, and it is a unique harmony that has formed over time. And I know you can think about that. And I am looking at, you can have this love, and even if you don't see the person for 30 or 40 years, you've been bonded for life. And it is amazing how God does these things. You know each other. You know each other very, very well. And then when you see each other after those decades apart, no communication or anything, you fall right into where you left off. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And people just cannot understand that. And people can't understand how you can love one person, even though that person might not be alive anymore. But then that person can be a threat to another person. And people have to understand that the heart, God designed us, our minds, our spirits, our souls to love multiple people, and we can love more than one person at the same time. And so the love that you have for one person is a different love than you have for the other person, but you can love them both. And if the other person is gone, then why would you be jealous of the love that the person you're with had for that other person when you're getting the love that you are getting? And so the thing is, I don't understand why a person would be jealous of a former love when they are getting the love themselves. Okay? Now, I hope you understand that, because, you can love more than one person. You can love more than one person. That's a fact. If you couldn't, how could you tell people, I love you, I love you? There are different stages of love. And then romantic love. Then, when just cherish the love that you're getting right now. Cherish that love, because there are many of us, and I put me in there, even though my children love me, my family loves me, but there is a love that you desire that can be lacking in your life. And then when people don't understand how, if you did have a relationship with another person, they're not here now, then they have a jealousy of that person instead of moving on and accepting the love that you have for them, the one who is present with you at the time. That destroys many, many lives, many, many relationships, because of the misunderstanding of love and the capacity of the heart to love more than one in many different ways at the same time. So anyway, I hope I'm making sense to you. I hope I'm making sense to you, because this is a very dear, dear subject for me. For me, it's very dear, okay? So you can find pragma in married couples who've been together for a long time, or in friendships that have endured for decades. So unfortunately, pragma is a type of love that is not easily found, and it's not easily found. But when you have that, you should cherish it with everything in you. Okay? So unfortunately, pragma is a type of love that is not easily found. We spend so much time and energy trying to find love, and so little time in learning how to maintain it. This is super. And the site that I'm on is lonewolf.com, talking about the different types of love according to Greeks. Okay, now unlike other types of love, pragma is a result of effort on both sides. Pragma is a result of efforts on both sides. So it is a love between people who've learned to make compromises, have demonstrated patience and tolerance to make the relationship work. Isn't that wonderful? See, if we could just think about it, and be more open to the fact that yes, she's going to love somebody else, but that doesn't take the love a- away from me that she has for me. Or he's going to love somebody else, or he did love somebody else, but that doesn't slight me of the love that he has for me or she has for me. Okay? Now what I'm not going to dig off into that. The love catalyst for that love is etheric, means unconscious love. We're talking about pragma, pragma, pragma. My goodness. And that is the love that many of us have throughout our lives. We've had relationships with people, even though we have not been in the company of those people. There is, I believe with all my heart, that there is a love that you can have for somebody and you don't even have to be in their company. For decades, you can have that love for them. And then if God allows you to meet again, that love can take up where it left off. All right? Now, there's the philatia, or self-love, okay? Philautia. Now, the Greeks understood that in order to care for others, we must first learn to care for ourselves. And I know you've heard me say this over and over again. So this form of self-love is not the unhealthy vanity and self-obsession that is focused on personal fame, gain, and fortune, as is the case with narcissism. Okay? Now, instead, philatia is self-love in its healthiest form. It shares the Buddhist philosophy of self-compassion, which is the deep understanding that only once you have the strength to love yourself and feel comfortable in your own skin will you be able to provide love to others. So as Aristotle put it, all friendly feelings for others are an extension of a man's feelings for himself. It couldn't be said any better, I don't think. Okay? Now, you cannot share what you do not have. You cannot share what you do not have. So if you do not love yourself, you cannot love anybody else either. So the only way to truly be happy is to find the unconditional love for yourself. Okay? The only way to truly be happy is to find that unconditional love for yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Okay? So only once you learn to love and understand yourself, you be ready to search for the spiritual freedom of the self. And the love catalyst for that philatia is soul. S-O-U-L. All right. Then we go to what we call the agape. Let's say agape. Okay, love, which is a selfless love. Agape, a selfless love. And the highest and most radical type of love, according to the Greek, is agape, or selfless, unconditional love. Now, this type of love is not the sentimental outpouring of that often passes as love in our society. Now, it has nothing to do with the condition-based type of love that our sex-obsessed culture tries to pass as love. Now, agape is what some call spiritual love. Okay? Now, it is an unconditional love, bigger than ourselves, a boundless compassion, and infinite empathy. It is what the Buddhists describe as metta, or universal loving kindness. Okay? So it is the purest form of love that is free from desires and expectations and loves regardless of the flaws and shortcomings of others. Talking about the agape love. Now, agape is a love that is felt for that which we intuitively know as the divine truth. The love that accepts, forgives, and believes for our greater good. My goodness. So that's the love catalyst for agape love is spirit. The love catalyst for agape love is spirit. My goodness. Oh, I love it. So, thanks to the Greeks, we can learn from all the different types of love in our lives. Because of these distinctions, we can learn that in order to truly enjoy Eros, we must also search for greater depths through philia and cultivate ludus, avoiding mania as our relationships mature. Now, it's through these efforts that we'll find pragma in our soulmate or twin flame relationships. So finally, through the power, Philosia, and agape, we can come to understand how amazing our human hearts really are. Our hearts are the only things in the universe that grow larger and the more they give to others. Oh, I must repeat that. This is so good. It says, our hearts are the only things in the universe that grow larger the more they give to others. It's a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you grasped what I'm talking about today. And this, I repeat, is from lonewolf.com. And it's the 8 different types of love according to the ancient Greeks. The 8 different types of love according to the ancient Greeks. And this is Point of View with Shirley Pope. I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day. 214-403-7563. The Point of View 1, and remember 1, at yahoo.com.